Welcome back to the Law of One educational series. Today we're focusing on session 13, and this session introduces brand new material that expands the foundation of everything Ra teaches. Instead of repeating the structure of densities or the logos, session 13 goes deeper into the origin of creation itself, intelligent infinity, the first three distortions, the octave system, polarity mechanics, and the mind-body-spirit complex. These concepts form the backbone of the entire Law of One philosophy.
Ra begins by clarifying the difference between intelligent infinity and intelligent energy. Intelligent infinity is pure, undistorted potential, the infinite creator before anything has been expressed. Ra describes it as unity in its most absolute state. No divisions, no forms, no movement. When intelligent infinity becomes aware, even slightly, that self-awareness initiates intelligent energy, the active force that forms light, vibration, matter, and eventually consciousness. This distinction is new to session 13, and it's foundational because it explains how the universe actually begins.
And from that moment of awareness, Ra introduces the first distortion, free will. This is the creator granting itself the freedom to explore, to choose, and to experience. Without free will, nothing else in creation could unfold, because there would be no differentiation, no movement, no possibility. The creator essentially says, I choose to know myself. And free will becomes that spark that allows everything else to emerge. That leads directly into the second distortion.
Yes, the second distortion is love, which Ra defines as the logos, or the creative principle that shapes experience. Love here isn't emotional love. It's the organizing intelligence that sets the structure for universes and galaxies. Once love becomes active, it focuses intelligent energy into specific forms and blueprints. From love arises the third distortion, which is light, the building block of all manifestation. Light is what forms time, space, atoms, bodies, planets, and the density structure. This three-step process, free will, love, light, is the core sequence behind creation.
Session 13 also introduces something that wasn't mentioned before, the octave system. Ra explains that 7 densities we talk about are not the whole story. There is an 8th density that acts as both the completion of one cycle and the beginning of the next level. Just like the 8th note in music starts a new scale, the 8th density transitions into a completely new octave of experience. This means creation is layered, not a single universe, but multiple universes stacked like musical octaves, each rising in complexity and awareness.
And Ra makes it clear that beings progress through these octaves continuously, learning and refining their understanding of unity each time. The 8th density is where consciousness reintegrates with the Creator, but it's also where a new journey begins. Creation, in Ra's view, is cyclical and infinite, not a one-time event.
Session 13 also expands polarity in a way we haven't heard before. Instead of just describing positive and negative as service to others or service to self, Ra explains the energetic mechanics behind them. The positive path is characterized by radiation, freely giving, expanding, and sharing consciousness outward. The negative path uses absorption, pulling energy inward, controlling, and contracting. Ra isn't glorifying either path, but simply showing how they function differently on an energetic level.
Exactly. Ra emphasizes that both polarities still lead back to the Creator, but they do so through completely different experiences. This helps explain why both paths exist. They expand the range of understanding available to the one infinite Creator. Again, that ties back to the first distortion. Free will allows all possibilities to be explored.
One of the biggest new concepts in Session 13 is the introduction of the mind-body-spirit complex. Ra says this triad is the fundamental unit of evolution. The mind perceives and interprets catalyst. The body expresses and processes catalyst. And the spirit integrates the deeper meaning behind it. Together, they form a complete system for learning. Ra only introduces the concept here, but it becomes extremely important in later sessions, especially when talking about healing and spiritual development.
And Ra ends Session 13 by returning to the core theme of the Law of One. The Creator knows itself through every experience we have. Each choice, each moment of awareness, each path, positive or negative, is a way for the Creator to explore its own nature. We aren't separate from the Creator. We are expressions of its self-discovery. This session reinforces that unity is the foundation behind all complexity.
So to summarize Session 13 in this Episode 13, Ra clarifies the difference between intelligent infinity and intelligent energy, lays out the three primary distortions that give rise to creation, introduces the octave system, explains the energetic mechanics of polarity, and begins the discussion of the mind-body-spirit complex. This session takes everything we've learned and ties it back to the core purpose of creation, the infinite Creator knowing itself through experience. Thank you again for joining us for Episode 13 of the Law of One educational series. In Episode 14, we'll continue exploring how Ra expands on the evolution of the mind, body, and spirit complexes and how they develop through the densities.
This was brought to you by Your Own Utopia.